You got on both of them?
Correct, sir. For the attendance on?
Yeah, go for sure. All right, shalom. Yahweh Bashmi Yashai Burger Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Thumb Bashmi Yashai to the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer Shargapan of the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. And since 1969, our mission is to go out into this earth and rescue all so-called blacks, Negroes, so-called Hispanics, SPICs, wetbacks, so-called Native Americans, redskin savages, right? And actually teach and show and prove to them that they are the real children of God, the Israelites that the Bible speaks about. And today we're in the month of June, which has become a disgusting month to the Lord. Because this month has been turned into a month of pride. Now, pride is nothing wrong with pride, depending on what it is, but there's something wrong with being proud that you are a homosexual. There's something wrong with you being proud that you are a lesbian. There is something wrong with you being proud that you are a transgender. There's something wrong when you are proud to be part of the LGBTQIA, ABC community, whatever other letters you guys want to add in there. And there's also something wrong for you to be proud to be a supporter or to be in alliance with this community that is completely anti-God, that goes against the Bible, that goes against what God set forth from the beginning, the foundation he set between man and woman, the foundation that was approved by the Lord, right? So if you are so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American, you are not allowed, you are not supposed to be anything that is close to the LGBT community. You're not allowed to be queer. You're not allowed to be questioning. You're not allowed to be a transformer. You're not allowed to be a homosexual or a carpet muncher or a lollipop sucker. You're not allowed to be any of that. All right. So if you think that it's okay for you to be a Decepticon and an Autobot, you are completely wrong. If you think it's okay for you to like other men as a man or want to sleep with other men as a man, you're wrong. If you think it's okay for you to want to go down and play with a woman's gas tank and fuel injection system as a woman, you are completely wrong, and it is disgusting according to the Lord. Sure, come take this bubble, sure. Hold on one second. It is completely wrong and it is disgusting in the sight of the Lord. All right. So when I first go open the door, it is completely wrong and disgusting in the sight of the Lord. Right. So what I want everyone to do is open up your Bibles first and foremost. Take out your notebooks, take out your pens, right, and go to the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. All right. I'm gonna give everyone a few moments to get there. All right, so we should have it by now. So it reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Listen, all you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, we are supposed to be the watchmen to our entire nation. God wants us men to be the leaders of this nation, to be the providers, to be the supporters, to be the heroes, to be the warriors, to be the lookouts, to be the ones that correct right from wrong. We are supposed to be this watchman over the nation of Israel, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And here the Lord wants us to go and speak to our people. Give our people warning from the Lord. Tell our people when the Lord is upset with us. Tell our people the solution to get the Lord to be happy with us again. That is our job. Our job is to help our people understand what we're doing wrong, because the Lord told us to do that, right? Let's go down to verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at that hand. Now, this may be a lot to digest, right? So we're going to start it from the top again. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way. So what the Lord is telling us, he's telling us leaders, us Black, Hispanic, and Native American men that serve the Lord, he is telling us to tell all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you are wicked for what you're doing, being involved in the LGBT community. You are wicked for being a Decepticon and an Autobot, wanting to be an Optimus Prime and transform yourself to something else. It is wicked of you to want to be a homosexual, to be gay, to be lesbian, to be queer. It is completely wrong and wicked of you to do that. And if we, the leaders that have been authorized to lead this nation, the men in the I.S.U.P.K, if we do not go out there and warn you of your disgusting, wicked, vile, and abominable lifestyle choices that you're making with your life, right? So that way we can warn you to stop living that particular lifestyle, to stop engaging in such perversion and wicked, vile fornication. That's the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. You're going to die. We're supposed to warn you that if you keep wanting to be Bumblebee and Optimus Prime and Megatron, you're going to die. If you want to keep being a fairy godmother, if you want to keep being a lollipop sucker, if you want to be queer, you're going to die. Because that is what you're doing, what you're engaging in, the lifestyle, the choices, it is wrong. It is a sin. It is iniquity to the Lord. And the result is death for you. The result is death, destruction, punishment, right? And the reason why the Lord is commanding us to tell you this is because the Father doesn't want you to die. Our Father doesn't want us to suffer. Our Father doesn't want to see two strong black men, two strong Hispanic men, two strong Native American men sleeping with each other, engaging in sexual intercourse with each other. They don't want us changing our genders and changing our sexes. God does not want that. That is a disgusting sight to the Lord. God, and the same thing for women. God doesn't want that for our Black, Hispanic, and Native American women either. Right? Now, if we do not warn you of your disgusting lifestyles, if we do not warn you of your disgusting choice, if we do not warn you and speak against the abominable acts that you are engaging in when you want to be proud to be lesbian, gay, straight, transgender, not straight, sorry, a lesbian, gay, transgender, queer, bisexual, you know, whatever else letters attached to this acronym. When you want to be proud of this month for being disgusting and diabolical, homosexual, lesbian, listen, if we don't warn you these things, the Lord will punish us for not warning you. Does that make sense? If we, the men of the Lord, the men who serve the Lord, the men who do the will and bidding of the Most High God, if we don't go out onto these streets like we do on Fridays and Saturdays, if we do not go out to these special events where Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans gather Monday through Sunday, if we do not hold classes Monday through Sunday to reach you in all types of ways, if you don't see us on your Facebooks, your TikToks, your Instagrams, your Periscopes, right, your Daily Mail, if we don't go out there to warn you of your wicked ways, if we don't do our best to warn you, tell you what you're doing wrong, and tell you what you need to do right, the Lord is going to require our blood at your death. When you die, we are held responsible for failing to go out and warn you. All right? You see any questions? Let's move on. Verse 19. Yet, if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Now here's the flip side. If we go out, if you see us on these streets, if you see us watching us on YouTube or TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, Daily Mail, if you see us out in these events where you like to gather in, if you see us out there in the supermarkets, in the movie theaters, and you strike up a conversation with us, if we fail to tell you what the Lord has warned us to tell you, right? If we fail to tell you that living that homosexual lifestyle of yours, that lesbian lifestyle of yours, that transformer lifestyle of yours, supporting such a lifestyle is wrong, if we fail to tell you these things, we will be held responsible. But like verse 19 says, but if we do warn you, if we do tell you to stop being a disgusted, vile, diabolical, disgusting sodomite, disgusting pedophile, stop being a child molester, stop being a transformer, stop being homosexual, stop being a lesbian, stop being a bull dagger or a dyke, right? If we do warn you and you choose not to listen to us, if you choose to hate us for it, if you choose to not pay us any attention and keep being an Optimus Prime and a Bumblebee, listen, our hands are washed clean when you die. Our hands are washed clean from the Lord when he decides to kill you, to put you to death, to punish you, to make you suffer, because we've done the job that the Lord told us to do. Our souls are saved by us going out there and doing what the Lord told us to do. And we are no longer responsible for your demise, your destruction, right? Your blood is no longer on our hands, because we did what the Lord commanded us to do. You just chose not to listen to the prophets of the Lord. You chose to keep living in that disgusting filth of a lifestyle of the LGBT community. You wanted to keep supporting Pride Month every single year, month after month after month. You decided that you wanted to put the LGBTQ tattoo, that rainbow flag, on your body. You decided to do those things, and because of your decisions to go against what the Lord said, your destruction is no longer our responsibility. Let's go to verse 20. Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin. And his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Now here, right, if we break it down, it says, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness. Now, a man who's for example, a man who's not engaged in the homosexual lifestyle or anything associated with Pride Month or the LGBT community, and he ends up turning to that LGBT community, he ends up finding a man attractive and wanting to sleep with that man, or she finds a woman attractive and wants to sleep with that woman. She thinks that she was actually considering about being a man now. He actually would like to know what it feels like to be a woman, so he goes through the process of transforming himself to be a woman. And they commit this iniquity. The Lord is going to lay a stumbling block. The Lord is going to put something in that person's path to destroy them, right? And that person will die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin. And our job is to tell those who are also obeying the Lord, who don't even know. You're going about Black, Hispanic, and Native American men and women who are going about their life, not involved in the LGBT community, not concerned with Pride Month, but they end up somehow walking in that direction, engaging themselves in that direction. We're supposed to warn them whether they're a part of that lifestyle or not, right? And his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered. So all the things that he did good according to the Lord, all the laws that he kept before that he didn't know he was just naturally doing, none of that matters now, because now he's walking in sin. Now he's committing sin, right? But his blood will I require at thine hand. But then at that situation, it is also the responsibility of the priests and prophets of the Lord for not warning him or her that lifestyle, the LGBTQ lifestyle, was wrong. That God doesn't want our people involved in that lifestyle. That God is completely against that lifestyle. The Lord will require his blood at our hands. We're responsible for failing to tell him or her that this was wrong from the beginning before they even thought about engaging in homosexuality or bestiality or pedophilia or child molestation or being a transsexual. Right? Let's keep going. Verse 21. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, that righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. Now, there's many Black, Hispanic, and Native American men and women and children that have nothing, that are obeying the laws of God and don't even know it, that don't engage in homosexuality, that don't engage in transsexualism, that don't engage in child pornography and pornography, that don't engage in the lesbian lifestyle, that are not questioning or not queer. They're just naturally doing it. They're not thinking about it. They're just naturally not engaging in that lifestyle. When we warn them against it and they continue to stay away from that lifestyle, listen, they're going to live. The Lord is going to secure their safety, because not only were they naturally not doing it, now they have been warned that they're not supposed to do it, and now they're making a conscious decision knowing that it goes against God. They understand now that Pride Month is anti-God, that being a transsexual is anti-God, that being a homosexual is anti-God, that being a lesbian is anti-God. And then us as priests, our duty has been fulfilled, because we have gone out there and done the work that the Lord required us to do and saved the lives of his people. All right? Any questions, feel free to type them in. All right, let me see if there's any questions online right now. YouTube looking good. Let's see. All right, no questions. All right, no sweat. Okay, so we're going to be moving on now. We're going to go into Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. But first, let's go to Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. Let's just go there real quick and get the law, since it is Wednesday law class. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. I'll give you all a few moments to get there. All right, let's get it. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. It states, "Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination." Now listen, here Moses is telling us, telling the men of Israel, right, that you cannot lie with mankind. Now, mankind is a broad concept, is a broad term used for all the people on earth, man and woman. Here is being specific because it separates mankind from womankind. So here the thou is us men that Moses is speaking to, right? Thou shalt not lie with mankind. Moses is telling us men, us Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, that as men we cannot sleep with other men. So you mean we can't lay in the same bed? We can't sleep on the same floor together? Then he becomes specific, as with womankind. Now if you are an adult, if you have children, you know how children came on this earth. If you are aware of what happens when a man and a woman come together in bed, or hell, living in this hell, in the back of the car seat, sometimes it happens in the hotel room, in the jacuzzi. Living in this world, we end up doing things that should be held sacred and secret in places where it's just degrading, not how would I say, not advisable, right? Going and having sex in the park where people can accidentally see you is not right, it's wrong. This is sex between a man and a woman is a intimate act, a sacred act that should be done behind closed doors in the comfort of their own home, right? So when a man lies with a woman, it's not just sleeping together, it's actually engaging in sexual intercourse, engaging in intimacy with each other. Moses is telling us that men are not supposed to engage in the same type of actions in bed with a woman with a man. So a man cannot do what he would do with a woman in bed with another man. Two men cannot sleep with each other. Two men cannot suck each other's penises. One man cannot bend over and spread his butt cheeks as another man inserts his rod into him. Both of them cannot receive pleasure because that is disgusting. Two women should not be lying in bed together, rubbing on each other's breasts and vaginas and stimulating each other, right? That is completely wrong. Man is not supposed to sleep with man as he would with a woman because it is an abomination. Now, if you don't know what an abomination is, we can get it for you. A simple definition of abomination a thing that causes disgust or hatred, disgrace, horror, evil, monstrosity, violation, right? When you engage in when you commit an abomination or engage in abomination acts, you are committing a violation against God. You are doing something that's causing the utmost disgust and hatred from God. So when a man sleeps with another man and has sex with a man, that is disgusting. And you are rightfully deserving the hatred from the Lord. When a woman wants to sleep with another woman, it is disgusting. It is a violation against God, and it is worthy of hatred from God. Stop being a homosexual. Stop being a lesbian. Stop being transgender. Stop trying to be the opposite sex. Stop engaging in pornography, right? Stop doing all this wicked fornication that deserves righteous hatred and disgust from the Lord. Now let's go to Leviticus. Let's take it a step further and go to Leviticus chapter 20. Leviticus chapter 20, and you want to go to verse 13. All right? Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Now again, Moses is just reaffirming the laws of God. And it's saying that if you, as a man, sleep with another man, engage in sex with another man as you would with a woman, and by extension, if you are a woman and you are engaging in sexual intercourse with another woman as you would and are supposed to with another man, right? Not with another man, with your man, it says both of them have committed an abomination. Both the pitcher and the receiver, both rug munchers, right? Both of you, the femme and the dyke, the AG and the girly girl, right? The squeaky high pitched voice of a man, and the one who's all muscular, right? The one who likes to dress in dresses and the other one who likes to be a homo thug, right? Both of you have committed an abomination when you engage in such lewd, disgusting acts, right? Both of you are righteously deserving of hatred from the Lord when two men want to sleep with each other, when two women want to sleep with each other, right? Both of you. They shall surely be put to death. Now, in ancient times, both homosexuals were put to death. Both lesbians were put to death. One person being a transgender and being with another person, both of you were put to death. Here, we don't have that control anymore. We don't run the earth anymore to enforce the laws of God. But more importantly, our King died for us to learn forgiveness. Our King died for us to seek repentance. So we all have a chance to change our ways now. We all have a chance to go against what America has instilled, conditioned us to accept to be right. We all have the ability to go against the LGBT community now. We all have the ability to seek repentance, to step out of that filthy, disgusting, abominable lifestyle and be forgiven by God. However, it still says they shall be put to death. So listen, if you die because you are homosexual, it is because God put you to death. If you die because you are a lesbian in 2021, it's because God put you to death. And then says, their blood shall be upon them. Your blood shall be upon you. Back then, your blood would be upon you because you were put to death and your blood is spilling out of your body, is now upon you. Now here in 2021, there's things called AIDS and herpes and HIVs and all types of sicknesses and diseases that are in your blood that God will put on you to put you to death. No one has to physically put you to death, but God will give you AIDS because you want to be a filthy, disgusting homosexual. Listen, if you want to go ahead and celebrate Pride Month, even though God is telling you not to, God will put you to death for being a homosexual by giving you AIDS, for being a lesbian by giving you HIV, for being a transsexual and getting a tattoo that has been used and is filthy, and now you contracted some bloodborne disease and you're losing weight and you're losing your appetite, your hair's falling out, you're throwing up every morning. Listen, God is the reason why you're being put to death if you want to keep living that lifestyle of the LGBT community. If you want to be a supporter and push and encourage and promote this Pride Month, listen, don't be surprised if your life starts to crumble before you. God is the one who did it. God is the one that is punishing you. God is the reason why you will be suffering in the month of June 2021 because you want to be proud. You want to be proudful for being a transformer. You want to be proudful for being a homosexual. You want to be proudful to be a lesbian. You want to be proud to support your daughter who is a disgusting homosexual, who's a disgusting transsexual. You grow up. Your family names you Alicia, and now you're 12, 13 years old, 15 years old, and you want to name yourself Alex. God is going to destroy you because your parents should have known better to encourage you and accept the fact that you want to be that lifestyle. Listen, you want to be a female, right? And just because you have some parts of your body that don't grow evenly because you've seen your dad be with other women and leave your mom, right? Now you want to be all masculine, and now you think you could play the role of a man. Listen, you wanting to be a dyke, to be a lesbian, to be a bulldagger, listen, God is going to destroy your life. And if it wasn't for men like me and the men in the I.S.U.P.K who serve the Lord telling you that it's wrong, you will continue to live in that lifestyle, and we will be responsible for your death. But that's not the case here. We've been telling you since the 60s that is wrong. We've been telling you for the past few years that it's wrong. So when your life crumbles before you, when you die, when you get put to death, when you lose your home, when your marriage falls apart, it's because you decided to be a filthy, disgusting, homosexual, lesbian, transformer, queer, questioning, supporter, promoter of this LGBT lifestyle. That's all on you. All right? Let's keep going. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. Give you all a few more moments to get there. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Right? If you are a daughter of Israel, if you are a black, Hispanic, and Native American woman, and you are a whore, if you are sleeping around with a bunch of men, right? And in light of this day, the law class, and in light of the subject, if you are a woman and you like to sleep around with a bunch of other women, you're still a whore. You're just a lesbian whore. God said there should be no whores of the daughters of Israel. Every single so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American woman, you are a daughter of Israel, and you are not permitted. You are not allowed to be a whore, especially a whore who is a lesbian. You're not allowed to sleep with multiple women as a woman. There's no such thing, right? Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. All you black, Hispanic, and Native American men, you are not allowed to stick your rod into another man's behind. You are not allowed to have another man stick his rod into your behind. You are not allowed to suck on another man's rod. You are not allowed to have another man suck on your rod. It is an abomination. It is an abominable act for you to be a whore and a lesbian, for you to be a sodomite and be a son of Israel. All right? That's not allowed according to God. So for all you black, Hispanic, and Native American men and women who are celebrating Pride Month this June 2021, God said you can't be a lesbian. God said you can't be a homosexual. God said you can't be a whore. God said you cannot be associated with that lifestyle, with that choice of living, with that, what they call it, sexual preference. There's none of that. There is no confusion of your gender or your sex. How you feel on the inside and how you portray yourself on the outside. There's no cross-dressing with God. There's none of that. There's none of that. Which brings me into the next scripture. Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. If you are a woman, you cannot be dressing like a man. A man wants to wear baggy jeans. Listen, women, you can't be wearing men's clothing. You can't be wearing jeans that a man would wear. You can't be buying oversized jeans to be baggy like a man would wear his jeans. You can't do that. You can't buy a fitted baseball hat to wear like a man would wear it, to have it slanted on the angle like a man would wear it. You cannot dress like a man would dress. You want to wear jeans? Okay, there are jeans that are tailored and made for women. Go ahead and wear your bell bottoms. Go ahead and wear your female jeans. Those are that's clothing and pants. Those are jeans, pants made for women. Right? Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. Listen, men, you cannot be wearing pants and jeans that are designed for a woman. You can't be wearing your sister's jeans. You can't be wearing your mother's jeans. You can't be going to Victoria's Secret. Do they even sell jeans? You can't be going to Forever 21 into the women's sections to buy jeans, to buy dresses. You can't wear clothing that is supposed to be for a woman. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. If you are a man and you want to dress like a woman, you want to put on makeup, you want to put up eyeliner, you want to put up mascara, you want to put up lipstick, you want to, do your edges like a woman, gel it up, grease it to the side, whatever the hell women do. You want to put on that tight dress. You want to put on that Victoria's Secret thong and bathing suit. Listen, that is a disgusting, abominable act, and it is worthy of hatred and disgust from the Lord. Vice versa for women. If you want to go and buy some jeans that are for men and wear them like a man would wear them, if you want to go dress up like a man, if you want to wrap your breasts so that they're flat, so that way you can show that you have a masculine chest and not a feminine chest, so people can view you as a man like young M.A., right? And all you dykes and bulldaggers, listen. What you're doing is an abominable act to God. It is disgusting and well deserving of hatred from the Lord. All right? Let's keep going. Now, many of you will have a problem. Well, listen. Jesus Christ died for our sins. We no longer have to obey the laws of God, which is not true. That was in the Old Testament. Well, let's go into the New Testament. Let's go into the era of when Christ was alive and when he passed, when he was put to death by the Jews and the Romans, right? Let's go to what it says about that, about homosexuality and Pride Month and transgenderism in the New Testament. Let's go to the book of Romans. We're going to start in chapter 1. All right, Romans chapter 1, verse 24. Shalom, priest, what's going on? Romans chapter 1, verse 24. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Listen. There come a point in time where a father gives up on their children when they're constantly doing wrong and they're constantly disobeying the Lord. You believe it? You don't say, right?
You got my other chapter.
Right, so
Slaves.
no sweat. Take a slice before you leave, right? No sweat. Right? There's a time where a father, a good father, gives up on his son for constantly being disobedient and going against them. Right. So the father just lets the son do what the son wants, kicks the son out the house, let him live his own life. Listen, there came a time where God said, listen, you want to be a filthy, disgusting homosexual? Go ahead. You want to celebrate Pride Month in June 2021? You know what? Go ahead. Right? God stopped caring about you because you constantly wanted to disrespect and go against him and be a disgusting Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Because you wanted to be a transformer, right? Because you wanted to be a lollipop sucker and a fairy godmother. Because you wanted to be Tu Lu Feng or whatever that movie is. What's the movie? Tu Lung Feng. Because you wanted to be Tu Wong Fu. Because you wanted to be a man like Wesley Snipes and John Leguizamo and dress up like a woman. Because you want to do that willingly, right? God said, you know what? I'm gonna give you up for the lust of your own hearts. I'm gonna let your disgusting desires that you crave and want to do, because you want to sleep with another man as a man, I'm gonna let you do whatever you want to do. Because you want to be a woman and sleep with another woman, listen, you go do what you want to do. Because you want to be a Autobot or a Decepticon, God said, you know what? Go do what you want to do. I'm tired of having to correct you. Right. I'm tired of having to send men to tell you what I told you to and not to do. And here God said he gave up on us because we wanted to fulfill the lust of our own desires. We wanted to dishonor our own bodies between ourselves, amongst ourselves, with each other. Verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever? Listen, we know who changed the truth of God into a lie. Africans changed the truth of God into a lie. They promote homosexuality. White people changed the truth of God into a lie. They spread pedophilia, child molestation, homosexuality, bestiality, lesbianism, transgenderism, right? All these other nations have changed the truth of God into a lie and have caused Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans to accept this lie as the truth, to accept this lie as if it was ordained by God. But listen, if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, listen carefully. Being a homosexual is wrong and goes against God. Being a lesbian is wrong and goes against God. Being a transformer, a transsexual, transgender is wrong and goes against God. Supporting, encouraging, promoting, and pushing the LGBTQ lifestyle, saying that love is just love, is wrong and goes against God. Being proud of Pride Month every June is wrong and goes against God. Now that's the truth. There's no lie there. So if you want to keep believing in this lie that our oppressors, our slave masters, those who rule over us have created and pushed to be a truth, listen, I've told you it's wrong. Men before me have told you it's wrong. The Bible tells you it's wrong. If you want to keep living this lifestyle and believe in this lie, then that's on you, right? You want to go and worship and serve your lust. You want to go and worship and serve those who make it acceptable for you to be a homosexual and a lesbian. Listen, go ahead. God is tired of having to correct you. We are going to keep telling you what God said to do. And listen, if you don't want to listen to what God said, your destruction is on your hands. Verse 26. For this cause, God gave them up to vile affections. And because you want to listen to lies, because you accept a lie as a truth, because you want to go and worship and serve those who rule over you and tell you what's right when it's wrong, God gave you up to your vile affections. God gave you up for you to follow that vile affection of being a homosexual and a lesbian and transgender. God said, go ahead. Jump in the deep end in homosexuality. Go ahead. Jump in the deep end of lesbianism. Go ahead.
Right.
Jump into the deep end of transgenderism. Go ahead, because God gave up on you. He was like a good father who's tired of correcting his son. God said, you know what? I'm going to leave you to your own affections. We've been telling you since the times of Moses, since the times of Christ, since 1969 when the truth was brought back to the earth, that being a homosexual and a lesbian and transgender is wrong and it's anti-God. You want to go ahead and keep living that lifestyle? Go ahead. We warned you. We told you what God told us to tell you. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Women, your natural use is to sleep with a man, have him be your husband, and have children. Raise your children up to know that it is wrong and anti-God to celebrate Pride Month. That it is wrong and anti-God to be a homosexual and a lesbian and a transgender. But here it says, for even women did change their natural use, which is against nature. Being a woman and a lesbian is going against nature. It's going against your natural use. Changing your sex and wanting to be a man now, going from Brittany to Brad, is wrong. That is going against your natural use. That is going against nature. Verse 27. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of a woman, and all you men, being a homosexual is against nature.
Right.
Being a homosexual and sleeping with men and having sex with men goes against nature, and you are throwing away the natural use of a woman. Don't you know having sex with a woman is amazing?
Right.
It is absolutely terrific. The feeling during the intimacy is unbelievable. Like the battle rapper Arsenal said to that lesbian he was battling, you will never know or experience the as soon as you stick in the tip feeling. You will never know that experience. You will never know the experience a man has when he sticks his rod into a woman the very first time. It is absolutely marvelous. Barakatah Yahweh for allowing men to sleep with women, because that experience, that feeling, it is amazing. Ooh, we, in the words of General Muhammad. Ooh, we, goddamn. And it is also absolutely beautiful and amazing when a child is conceived, when a child is growing in his mother's stomach or her mother's stomach. It is an absolute act of God. It is a miracle every time a child is born, because a man has slept with his woman to create that life with permission from God. It is absolutely wonderful. And if you want to go against the natural use of a woman, you are disgusting of a man. You are an absolute abomination if you as a man want to get rid of the natural use of a woman. If you want to try to cause that same experience that you would with a woman, with a man, listen, that is absolutely disgusting. Shalom, brother. You are worthy of the hatred of God. Burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. You want to be a man and burn in your lust and desire other men, desire to put your rod into another man when you're supposed to put it into your woman? If you want to go burn in your lust and suck on another man's rod, listen, you know what? Go ahead. When God gives you AIDS, it says the recompense of their error was meat. the judgment of you wanting to be a homosexual, the punishment is good, is worthy. That punishment is worthy because you deserved it. You want to be a lesbian, right? The punishment that God sends upon you, you are worthy of that punishment. The payment that God gives you when you want to chop off your penis and go from being Brad to Brittany, listen, the punishment that God brings upon you is good. It's meat. It's worthy. You want to say something, brother?
I want to say now, since you're talking about the lesbians, what's funny is that they have horrible domestic violence rates. Last time I checked, they were above heterosexual.
If not equal or higher.
Cancer. And what I was going to say is that the punishment is meat. It's perfect you say that because what a lot of times they get, like they don't understand the fact that your body is, the Most High created our bodies to be a certain way. So when you got a
natural
woman,
use.
Right. So when you have a woman, what's called taking testosterone, trying to be a man, and you're a woman who said, I don't need a man, I can deal with it by being with this woman who looks like a man, that woman is going to beat you and treat you like every man you swore was going to do that to you.
Yes, you're going against nature when you take hormone pills to be a woman when you're a man. You go against nature when you want to take testosterone pills when you're a woman, so that way you can be more of a man.
And then another thing is they think that this woman who's trying to be a man isn't going to cheat on them and try to get 20 numbers. But not realizing this woman's whole mentality is, I'm trying to be a man. What do men do? Try to talk to every woman. Like,
it's disgusting.
Right.
It goes against the natural use of the opposite sex. You are going against nature when you are a man and don't want to be with a woman. You are going against nature when you are a woman and don't want to be a man and don't want to be with a man. That is going against nature. For me in my house, for all the men in the I.S.U.P.K, we're going to fully take advantage of what is the natural use that God put on this earth.
Right.
We're going to fully be participants of nature and what's natural. Right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12.
You want to repeat something?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's fine. Give me 1 second.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 12. Give you all a few moments to get there.
$14 and $12.
Hold on 1 second.
John.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Proverbs 14 and 12. There's a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Read that one more time, Babu Shan.
There's a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Listen, there's a way. Let me backtrack. Growing up in society, in this American society, read that again, Abadia.
12. There's a way which seemeth right unto a man.
Growing up in American society, we're all taught that there's a way that is right by the American society, by the American educational system, by the American government, by our slave owners, right? By these slave masters. There's a way that they have forced us to think and forced us to accept that is right. But what about you?
There's a way which seemeth right unto a man.
But
the end thereof are the ways of death.
If you want to accept homosexuality, Abadia, the end.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
If you want to accept lesbianism.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
If you think it is correct, if you think that it is okay and accepted by God to be a transsexual, to go from Elena to Alan, to go from Brad to Brittany, Abadia?
But the way, The end thereof are the ways of death.
Listen, if you think that this is the right way to live, you're sadly mistaken, because
the end thereof are the ways of death.
Because the end result is death,
right.
Destruction, AIDS, HIV, all types of diseases, being part of a greater rate of domestic violence as a lesbian or homosexual, right? God will put you to death because you think being proud that it's Pride Month is right, but the end is death. You think that being a homosexual is correct, but the end result is death. You think being a lesbian and a transsexual and a child molester and a pedophile and being queer, right? Or questioning whatever you want to alternate the Q for, is right. If you think it's right, the end result is death. God will put you to death. God will bring about your destruction, or bring about your punishment, your judgment, your suffering. And like the word abomination says, something that causes hatred or disgust, you are absolutely worthy of the righteous disgust and hatred from God if you want to celebrate Pride Month.
Right.
If you want to be a homosexual, if you want to be a lesbian, if you want to be a transsexual, if you want to be a queer, it's absolutely worthy that God brings his punishment upon you. All right? Let's go down. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 9. Let some of you, give you all a few moments to get there, okay? So while you're all getting that, Abadia, I saw that your live chat was jumping on Monday.
Yeah,
It's been completely dead yesterday and today.
Yesterday and today, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. I have no idea. Y'all was saying it could be possible because of the whole kill stream thing from yesterday, but I don't see the connection where they would say that's what Yonkers.
Kill stream was yesterday. Your class was on Monday.
Right. So I don't know what that was about.
Listen, all we know is that I'm glad in the I.S.U.P.K. that we have enemies.
Right.
Because those enemies, because they're our enemies, they're the Lord's enemies.
Right.
Whoever it was, whoever they were, just know you are the enemy of the Lord because you are our enemies of the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
And I look forward to your destruction and to your removal. So that way this earth can be ran righteously the way our God wanted it to.
Right.
And if you celebrate Pride Month, your removal is absolutely worthy. So that way this earth can be ran the way God wanted it to. Scripture?
Isaiah 3 and 9. The show of their countenance doeth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not.
Yeah.
Salakia. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
Listen, and some of you are so, this is a perfect day for the perfect start of this month. Pride Month, June 2nd, right? The second day of Pride Month. Some of you are not going to even hide the fact that you are filthy, disgusting homosexual, lesbian, and transgender. Some of you are going to be out there painting the rainbow flag on your face every single day. A lot of you are going to be marching the streets, right? Listen, the show of their countenance doth witness against them. We can see, especially during this month, that you are disgusting homosexual, that you are disgusting lesbian, that you are proud to be a transsexual. We can see it. Your countenance, you're showing your countenance that you are proud to be a homosexual, right? and they declared their sin as Sodom. You don't hide it. They hide it not. You are proud, especially during this month, to be a disgusting transsexual, to be a disgusting lesbian, to be a disgusting homosexual. You are proud. You are proud. You are no prouder to be deserving of God's destruction than during this month of June. Your all-out pride is being shown. You want everybody to know in the month of June that you're gay, that you're lesbian, that you used to be called Oscar and now you're called Ophelia. You want everyone to know that your name used to be Angelique and now it's Anthony, or Ant for short. About him?
I'm gonna say Angel.
Angel. Angel for short. Right?
All right.
You want everyone to know. You're not going to hide it during the month of June. You're going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. About you?
It is called pride.
And that's why this month, June, is called Pride. Pride Month. You want to be proud and show how much pride you have in being a sinner during the month of June. Right? Well, listen, it says, woe unto their soul. Woe means death and destruction. So this prophet Isaiah, a great forefather of ours, said, God said death and destruction on all of them. Listen, all you gay, straight, lesbians, gay, lesbian, and those who are straight and are in alliance with the gays and lesbians, all you transgenders, listen, death and destruction is going to come upon you by the Lord. And I, just like the ancestors before us, have been constantly warning you against living such a lifestyle and choosing to engage in such acts. But I do have to tell you, we have been telling you in the I.S.U.P.K, death and destruction is your judgment and will fall upon you for wanting to live this lifestyle, for wanting to be proud during the Pride month of June. All right? Just, you've been warned. We've been warning you. God gave up on you. Christ came and died so you can have a second chance, and here is your second chance. Being gay is wrong and anti-God. Being a lesbian is wrong and anti-God. Being a transformer and choosing the Decepticons or Autobots is wrong according to God. We're warning you because Christ told us to help you get forgiveness. Showed us that being forgiving and showing our people the way back to the Lord is the way for our people to rule this earth again. We're telling you, it's wrong that what you're doing. You should put those flags in the garbage and burn them. You should take that rainbow flag and use it for paper mache. Do something creative with it. Cut it up to pieces or turn it into scrap fabric. Do something with it. But don't wave it in the air like you just don't care. Don't be proud. Don't have pride of it. Get rid of it. Leave that lifestyle. Listen, you chopped your rod off, it's too late to be a man again. Sorry, it's too late to have a rod again and to sleep with women. But you can still tell other men not to chop their rod off and to keep being a man because that's what God wants. You can tell other women, don't remove your breast. Don't put a penis in place of your vagina. Go and have babies and sleep with a man. Because that's what God wants. You still have that ability. About you?
So, like, if I may, I remember I was watching something like a year or so ago, and they came out like homosexuals saying, like transsexuals were saying, like, I regret the surgery. Like, this is really stupid.
What real man wouldn't regret chopping off his penis?
Yeah, God.
Did you not understand? It is absolutely marvelous to stick your rod into your woman and go to sleep. It is an amazing feeling, and it's also an amazing experience to have a child, to raise that child correctly, because that is the result of using the natural use of a woman while being a man.
Right.
It goes with nature. It flows down the natural path for a woman to find a man to be her husband, to sleep with that man, to get pregnant by that man, and to give birth to a child for that man. It is absolutely beautiful, marvelous, and righteous in the sight of the Lord. About it?
And you know the funny thing is, that's why they're upset. They didn't want to be the man, they wanted to be the woman. But when they find out, first off, you're not being given a vagina. You're just being given something that can outwardly resemble a vagina. You don't get the pleasure that an actual woman will get. Second, you're not going to have a baby. So after you have the surgery, a lot of these men are going like, I really did this for nothing.
You're not going to be producing milk. Like,
right,
at least not naturally.
Right. You can't do anything. You can't have a baby. You technically don't have a vagina. You just have what appears to be a vagina.
You're not
a woman.
You have your penis removed and the skin shaped into a vagina inside your body. That's what you have.
Right.
You have the skin of your penis shaped into vagina. That's what you have. It's not a real vagina. It's not.
God, I still got. Did you want to?
Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. You read verse 10.
Say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with them, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. 11.
No. Read it again, Bubba Shah.
10. Say ye to the righteous.
To all you men who obey God, just like the men in the I.S.U.P.K does, to all of us men, Black, Hispanic, and Native American men who are righteous, and stick our rods into our women, and have the pleasure of sleeping with our women, and have the honor to be gifted by having a child from the Lord, to all you righteous men, to all you righteous women, all you Black, Hispanic, and Native American women who are righteous, who choose a man to sleep with, to be their wife, to have a baby for them, to all you righteous people out there,
say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with them.
Listen, life is going to be good for you. You keep obeying God, and God will make your life bearable in this captivity. God will remove the bonds and shackles that our people are under, because you want to be righteous, because you want to be a woman and stay a woman and get and fully engulf yourself into the natural use of a woman, because you want to be a man and stay a man and fully take advantage of the natural use of being a man. God will God will remove the suffering from our lives, so that way we can experience some type of joy, some type of bearable living in this day and age, until Christ is sent back to us. Keep going.
For they shall eat the fruit of their doings.
Because listen, because when you're a man and you sleep with your wife and have children, you don't die because you're a homosexual. When you're a woman and you sleep with your man and have children for your man, you don't die because you're a lesbian. When you're a man and a woman and you only sleep with your husband or your wife, and you don't change your gender or your sex, you don't cut off your rod, you don't remove your breast, you don't put a vagina in replacement of your penis, you don't try to have a fake penis in the replacement of your vagina, listen, you won't die the same death as a transsexual would. You will eat the fruit of your doings. And the fruit of your doings, which is obeying the laws of God, is life. It's to live. Let's drop that. We're going to end it with Isaiah 46 and 8.
Oh, you have a
Yeah, we got a council.
Yeah, time, but I thought about 15 minutes. Isaiah 40.
Isaiah 46 and 8. So I want all of you, all you Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, right? Let's see this chat.
Yeah, all I got is some cat named Joey saying.
Joey, who's online. Joey, Crow, C-R-O-A-G. What is that?
Right.
Explain yourself. I don't know what that is. Are you crow? Explain yourself. If it's an acronym or something, you shouldn't assume that someone just knows what it is. All right. This is called, you're on No Cowards Yonkers. So don't be a coward and explain yourself. All right, Joey? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 46, verse 9.
Isaiah 46.
Sorry, verse 8.
Yeah, sorry. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors.
Listen, us black, Hispanic, and Native American people, we have been sinning just about all our lives, generation after generation after generation, because we've gone into numerous amounts of slaveries, captivities, been under numerous amounts of oppression because we sinned. You know?
Right.
Egypt slavery, Babylon,
Persia,
Assyria, Persia, underneath the Greeks, the Romans, slavery in Africa, going to slavery in Europe, being sold in the transatlantic slave trade, in the sub-Saharan slave trade, you know, being slaves here in the Americas, North, Central, South, Caribbean America, being mental slaves here, being slaves to debt, being slaves to the credit system, being slaves in the American prison and incarceration system, being slaves to living a life of violence, being slaves to poverty and oppression and depression. Listen, we have sinned for so long. And what does God say in verse 8?
Remember this.
You need to remember this. That if we want to get out of this slavery, if we want to get right with the Lord, part of that, part of the solution is to stop being a disgusting Optimus Prime and Bumblebee and Megatron. To get away from the idea of transgenderism, to get rid of the idea of homosexualism, to get rid of the idea of lesbianism, get rid of the whole LGBTQ community, get rid of Pride Month. If you are black, Hispanic, or Native American, you are a man and a woman, remember this. Show yourselves as men. For all you black, Hispanic, and Native American men, be a man for once. Take a stance to stand with the Lord. Stick to it. Remember, bring it again to your mind. Remember all the atrocities our people went through throughout history, throughout our history book called the Bible. Remember all the things we did wrong, so we can stop being sinners. Remember how being a homosexual is worthy of death. Remember how being a whore is wrong. Remember how we're not supposed to dress like a woman as a man, and we're not supposed to dress like a man as a woman. Remember how it's wrong. Remember who has forced us to accept that being gay, lesbian, and transgender is right when it is wrong. Remember these things and stand for the Lord. You want to say something?
Allah. There's nothing I want to say.
No. All right. I see that Joey hasn't responded.
Right.
Again, this is no cowards Yonkers. Cowards normally don't explain themselves. And so with that, I'm going to pass the class over to priest and prophet Abadia.
John, no sign trash, class. John. We have the I.S.U.P.K starting out of 1 West, 125th Street. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother and sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher priest fund, free will offering. For priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. That'll be Feast of First Fruits, June 20th, here at the school. Check the bulletin board for any upcoming events. Anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we say, Imagine. Well, Imagine. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakah. Yad Matah. With the hand down, dismissed. Okay.